Welcome to Michelle Davis Fitness, where being beauty and being strong is, wait, let me say that again. Where being strong is beautiful. This is my first show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Michelle Davis, and I want to tell you guys a little bit about me. First of all, I'm an athlete. I've been active my whole entire life. I actually started bodybuilding about a year ago when tragically I found out that my sister had terminal cancer, and I had to try and find a way where I could get through all of the anxiety and all of the bullshit that I was going to be dealing with. And so I found that being in the gym, being around supportive people, and having a fitness family really got me through my dark days. And so I really wanted to inspire others and motivate everybody, ordinary people, bodybuilders, personal trainers, people who love being healthy and love making moves for themselves, for bettering themselves. That's what this show is all about. And so being strong is being beautiful. So again, welcome to Michelle Davis Fitness. If you want more information about me and the show, go to michelledavisfitness.com. Thanks to my graphic designer, Scott Gagliano, and Halo Branded Solutions. And I also wanted to give a big shout out to my photographer and graphic designer, Jules Eve, eve36.com. Thank you so much for putting up my media kit and my banner and everything so quick. And I also want to give a shout out to my mentor and motivator, Catfish, who kind of told me that I needed to start a fitness show. So I thought about it and I said, you know what? I do, and I did it, and so here we are. And I want to give a shout out to my better half, Jean, for being the CEO of WCOBM and believing me, being a broadcaster, and loving everything to do with social media and live streaming. And as well, everyone at WCOBM, the whole family, my fitness family at Platinum Physiques in Las Vegas, and Scott McCambridge, my board operator, and my video producer. So again, the show is for everybody, and I also wanted to tell everybody it's for all the Vegas locals and people who are coming into Vegas, and you want to know when the health expos are, you want to know when the bodybuilder competitions are. This is what that show is about. So doing live broadcasting, going to these events, actually streaming and interviewing a lot of the celebrities and the people that are in the fitness industries that you want to know. That's where I'm going to tap into and go to them, because Vegas is the place where you got to go when it comes to fitness, when it comes to health, when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to everybody under the sun, when it comes to that genre. That's what this show is all about. So thank you so much for being here, and I'm totally stoked for starting. This is my first show. My first competition is in November. It's November 4th at the Cashman Center, and so I'm going to be interviewing bodybuilders. I'm going to be talking about tips and secrets, and I'm really going to get involved more of how people got to where they are. You know, I've been on Instagram a lot. I've been following Instagram stories. I've been looking at all sorts of women who inspire me to be stronger and to do better with my life, and that's all through their life. And so I thought, what better yet is involve them in my show and interview them and bring them on Skype, because WCOBM is awesome for that. So yeah, if you guys want to get more information about Michelle Davis Fitness, again, follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, and Instagram is 702 Rocks. So I'm going to go ahead and start by bringing on my very first guest. So excited, been following this girl for about a week now, and she's like a mad woman. That's right. She is incredible, and she is Miss Mighty Mouse. I'm going to bring up a video on her YouTube channel, Miss Mighty Mouse with 2 Y's, and show you how she did and looks on stage, which is amazing. So watch this.
This noise, tired of all these cameras flashing, sick of being poised. Now my head is open
That's it, Miss Mighty Mouse. Welcome to Michelle Davis Fitness. Appreciate you being a guest on the show today.
I'm very, very excited to be here. Very excited.
So Road to Pro, that's the name of your YouTube channel. Definitely go and subscribe, everybody. That's Miss Mighty Mouse with 2 Y's. Megan Elizabeth, let's talk a little bit about, before you even started being a bodybuilder, you're a veteran. Hats off to you.
Thank you.
That is so badass. You're a certified personal trainer. Just turned 25, I think, a little bit ago, something around there.
I'm about to turn 25.
About to turn, okay. And your sponsors, let's give some shout outs to your sponsors real quick.
So I'm sponsored by 3 people.
Okay.
I'm sponsored by Gisela Designs. So she creates all of my suits for my shows. And my discount code for that, if anyone's interested, is, wait, Warren.
Throw it up.
They all changed.
Shout it out.
My discount code for that, if you want to save 10% on a suit, if you're interested in that, is Be Mighty with 2 Y's. And then I'm also sponsored by Live Store, who is the hat that I'm wearing right now.
Awesome.
They like to support a lot of CrossFit people, but they are bringing a lot of bodybuilders in. They want to support a lot of different, genres of fitness. So discount code for that, 15% off, is Be Mighty with 1 Y.
Cool.
See the difference there. And then Dynacor Labs, which is the shirt I'm wearing, they're my supplement sponsor. It's a new company. They're just starting, but phenomenal products. And for 20% off for their products, you can do Miss Mighty 911. And Live Store is www.livestore.net. Dynacor Labs is www.dynacorelabs.com. And Gisela Designs is www. And it's GHISELA designs.com. So they're amazing. They've supported me this entire time. And I would not be where I am today without them.
So where did you get the name Miss Mighty Mouse?
So like you said, I was a veteran. I was in the Navy for 6 years. I was a welder when I was in. And I went on deployment in 2013. And while we were in the middle of the Red Sea, I went to the gym after being there for like a week. And there was a guy who was in the air crew, I guess, program. He was in aviation. He looked at me and he was like, dang, you're like a Mighty Mouse. And it just kind of stuck because I'm 5'3". I think at the time I was 140-ish. And it just kind of stuck at that point, and I made it my IG name, and it's just kind of grown since then.
That's amazing. Now let's talk about social media, because I found you on Instagram and you are all over the board when it comes to social media. What do you think about social media?
I absolutely love it, honestly. Like, it's got a lot of, there's obviously with the positives, there's negatives, It's an avenue and a platform for people to speak their mind, to be 100% who they are. But that also has the negatives where people are not the nicest people in the world. You got those trolls that hide behind their keyboard and they want to tell you this, that, and a third.
Yeah.
And so you just got to take it with a grain of salt. But honestly, like, especially in this day and age, social media, it's crucial to your career. It's crucial to fitness. And I mean, just speaking of the fitness industry, just as itself, it's crucial in this day and age to have a huge social media following, because there's pros out there who no one knows who they are. And I'm an amateur competitor, and I get approached. I was at the commissary buying groceries, 2 days ago, and a girl walked up to me and was like, "Oh my gosh, I follow you. Thank you so much. Like, I just wanted to meet you." And that's cool. Like, it's Instagram. Like, I'm not famous, but because of what I post and how real I am.
I definitely say to some people, they look up to you and they buy the products that you buy, and that's why companies follow you. And how many competitions have you been in?
I have been in 7 competitions to date.
Nice. And so recently, your recent competition was in Vegas. I was following you on your stories then.
Yes, it was. That actually, out of all the competitions I've done, out of the 7, my first show, I got 6th, which was last. It was a local show, very small.
That was pro. I mean, you gotta.
Right,
it wasn't your ever ordinary show.
Well, it was like a learning experience. It's your first show, and if you don't have a coach, which I didn't.
But I saw how much fun you had. That's the thing I loved. I interrupt, excuse me, but.
No, you're fine. No, it's completely understandable.
You drive into Vegas, you're in the hotel room, you're talking about your thoughts, you're backstage before you did your makeup. I felt like I was right there in the show with you. Even though Embassy Suites was like right down the street from my house, I was like, this chick is so cool. She needs to come on my show. This is awesome. Stuff
Oh,
like
that makes
that
me feel
people,
so good. Thank
yeah,
you.
like you are a celebrity to a lot of people, and I feel like social media really blows up and emphasizes what your message is. For instance, you recently wanted to be a cosmetologist. You told people on your stories, see, I pay attention. You're telling people on your stories, I pulled out of it. That wasn't my thing. So you went 100% into fitness, and that motivates people to kind of say, you know what, she's passionate about what she loves. She may have had a little of a curve here and there in life, but you decided this is what I love and what you're just so passionate about that you followed your dreams, and that's what's so awesome about it.
Exactly. I think
Yeah.
my mom actually, when I told her, I was like, hey, I'm dropping from cosmetology school. She was like, yeah, well, I have no idea why you started it in the first place. And I
It's
was
just one
like,
of those
wait, what?
things,
She goes,
yeah.
I mean, she's like, you'd be good at anything you do in life. She was like, but that's not your thing. She's like, fitness is your
Yep.
thing. So I was kind of like, okay, you want to be a
Yep.
cosmetologist? You know, you go, girl. But she wasn't surprised when I was like, oh, I'm dropping. She was
Yeah.
like, okay, good. Like,
So where do you see yourself in 5 years? Now you're going to be starting a new job at a gym. Just got hired on Saturday. Congrats.
thank you so much. I don't know. So in 5 years, I definitely want to be a pro, and I want to be a pro in women's physique. And a lot of people ask me like why I want to be a pro, like why. And it's not so much I want to be like an IFBB pro. That's not the end result I want. Like with social media, I want to be able to reach as many people as I can. Like ultimately, I want to be a motivational speaker.
Right.
I want
Yeah.
to help young women and men who are just struggling with life. Like people who feel so down that they feel like they'll never be able to get back up again, because I've been there so many times, too many
Right.
times to count. And I want to be able to show them like, hey, here I am. I overcame what I thought I never would. I blew everyone's expectations out of the water. You know, people never thought I would do this, but here I am, and you can get there too.
And I love
help
your
people
YouTube
to do
channel.
that.
Yeah, I love your YouTube channel. You have so
Thank
many
you.
positive messages. Can we play one of those videos in the bottom third of the screen? It's kind of like F what other people think. Tell us a little bit behind that video.
So my mentality behind like basically, you know, screw what people think is, let's see. When I grew up, I was always the one who wasn't worth anything. Like if my stepbrothers or sisters or anything got in trouble, it wasn't them that got in trouble, it was me. You know what I'm saying? So I always grew up with the mentality that it's all my fault, I'm worth nothing, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, my stepdad and my mom, they tried very hard to fix that, which when I got out of the Navy, I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, which is being able or unable to regulate your emotions. And basically, I decided that I'm not going to let what people think about me dictate what I think about myself.
Right.
And for so many years, like, I mean, I'm like 25 almost, and I've spent the majority of my life trying to please other people.
Right.
And I'm finally at the point where I'm happier doing what I love, doing what I want, and not listening to the negativity. And it's so fulfilling when you can live your life day in and day out for yourself, like not caring what people think. Like I struggled so hard last year when I first started women's physique because I wasn't used to being so big.
Right,
People
and all the
looked at me and thought I was
attention and-
masculine.
Like in your IG stories, you're like, everyone's looking at me and I don't give a F.
Exactly. I'm at the point now where I'm like, okay, I'm getting big. Like
Yeah.
we're bodybuilders, we're freaks. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying?
what
Like people are gonna look
happens.
at us and be like, what?
It's what happens. You know, you eat your protein. That's what's going to happen.
Exactly.
So, what's your favorite bodybuilding show in Vegas that you've been to?
Let's see. I've competed in two so far. I did Legends Classic, which was a muscle contest show. It was my second figure show, and I ended up getting first in my class and third overall.
Good for you.
And then I did USA's, which was a whole different level.
Really?
Like, that was my first national show. And women's physique, it's not competitive at the local level,
Right.
like at all. You have maybe 5 competitors a show, and that's in all the classes.
Okay.
You know, so you go to the national level, and I was on stage with 14 girls.
Wow.
And I had just won the overall on June 10th. You know, I've placed first or second in every show I've done since my first show.
Wow.
So I get up there and I ended up getting second call outs, and I got 9th place out of like
Oh.
14 girls. And it was
think
an
that
eye opener.
happens- Yeah.
But I mean, it's
It's funny you
gonna
say
happen.
that. It's funny you say that. My coach actually told me today that happens in every single bodybuilder story, at least once, where they get discouraged. And you have that moment where you're like, and it's funny, I haven't even competed yet. I'm competing in November. So your stories are kind of like, I have to remember no matter what, it's kind of like you're just kind of going along with the steps and the motions of life. And each competition, you learn something about yourself, you develop something about yourself, and in the end, I think it is about winning, but it's really not. And I want to know who motivated you to get started in bodybuilding?
Well, when I started bodybuilding, I had just transitioned from CrossFit to bodybuilding,
Okay.
right? I'm a very competitive person.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
did
can't
soccer,
tell that
track,
one
cross
bit.
country. Right, exactly. It's just, that's what drives me. I like competition for some crazy reason. And Dana Lynn Bailey, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
She is my idol, my everything. And it was actually funny when I met her at the LA Fit Expo this year. She knew me by my IG name, and I was
That's
like,
so cool. That's a great
oh my
name.
God.
It's awesome. I mean, that is a great name. And so, when are you going to compete next in Vegas?
My goal is to do the same show I just did this year, next year. So USA's probably around July, like 28th, 29th again, end of July, next year. I haven't had a real off season since I did 4 shows last year. So I did January,
wow.
September, and then 2 back-to-back shows in December, and then took about a month and a half, 2 months off, and started prep for USA's. So I've
That's
been in prep
amazing.
for the past year and a half.
And what is your biggest obstacle with prepping? Because a lot of people are like, what's prepping? It's like, well, you have meals that are certain ounces, and you weigh them, and you pre-cook them, and you have to have a regimented, it's no fun.
Yeah, it's not. I like to say I'm the world's worst bodybuilder just because I hate dieting.
Right?
It literally
I'm like,
drives
don't
me
say
up
that
the
word.
wall.
Don't say that word.
Oh my gosh. I literally, when I was doing I guess it was my growing part of my prep for
Right.
USA's, my coach was having me eat it felt like a pound of food every meal. And I would sit there for 45 minutes to an hour basically crying over this food. I don't want to eat it anymore. Why am I doing this? This isn't fun. Why do I do this to myself? Horrible.
I got to see that on a YouTube video, what you eat in a day,
Someone did just request that, so I'm definitely thinking I'm going to do that for this,
Yeah.
especially with it being off season. So
Yeah. What you shop at the grocery store, prep day when you meal plan, all that stuff. And I really got to say thank you so much for being my first guest on my fitness show and responding to me, and just keep up with being badass, girl. You were so awesome.
Thank you so much.
And next time you're in Vegas, come on the show and come to the studio and
For
show
sure.
off all your trophies. That would be cool.
I will for sure.
Can you show off your guns real quick? Show off a gun photo. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I guess they're
Dynacor
okay.
in the house. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Megan, for being a guest. Stay in touch. Everyone
Thank you so
follow her.
much.
Throw out your Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook name real quick again.
So Instagram is at Miss_Mighty with 2 Y's _mouse. Twitter is at Miss, so MS, and then Mighty Mouse, same again, 2 Y's. And then Facebook, you can find me under Megan Elizabeth.
Awesome.
And then I also have a page for that, and it says the original Miss Mighty Mouse.
Well, you
So,
are the Miss Mighty Mouse, and keep up with your gains. And I love all of your I don't give a F videos, so keep rocking.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It was an absolute pleasure.
You're welcome. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. You're watching Michelle Davis Fitness right here on WCOBM.TV.